I believe that friendship is a form of therapy. And you're thinking, wait, what? How can friendship be therapy? Isn't therapy a private consultation with a professional who will help diagnose your problems? Usually it's due to anxiety or depression. Isn't that a medical thing? And then you think, wait, what does therapy hope to achieve? It helps you to overcome a problem you have in life. It doesn't have to be just mental health, although it can be related. It can be to do with drugs. It can be to do with trauma. But I believe that therapy is very much related to our social lives. You see, not having friends, not talking to people, not socializing can cause you to feel more depressed because you're lacking a chemical in your body called serotonin, which arises when you speak to other people. It's a feel-good hormone. It's just like dopamine, but you get them from different sources. Nowadays, you've heard a lot of dopamine, right? That you get it from your phone, from your social media, and that we're addicted to it. Serotonin is different in the fact that it arises from your social interactions. When you anticipate a good event coming up, you may feel serotonin. It's not necessarily related to the unhealthy kind of feel-good hormone, dopamine, that you get from social media, because that keeps you in a doom scrolling loop and makes you more depressed. No. If we're chasing that serotonin we get from our friends, that increase in serotonin levels can offset those hormones that make us feel depressed. And if we treat it regularly by talking to more friends, always socializing, then we can combat our depressive and anxious symptoms, which is exactly what therapy does. You see, it all comes full circle now. This is why I say that friendship is therapy. So how can friendship offset these depressive symptoms? How can they act as therapy? Well, if you're in the presence of another person, you're in the presence of another mind that can think of activities to do. Maybe you're out in the park with your friend and you're out of ideas for what to do. You're like, we've sat here for a while now, soaking in the sun. What should we do next? And their brilliant mind thinks of going for a run in the forest. Now that sounds pretty cool. You never thought of that. Therefore, you would have stayed more inadequate, doing less without them. Because your friend suggested doing the run in the forest, which results in you feeling more fulfilled, more excited afterwards, you have therefore tried a new thing, which adds to your catalogue of life experiences, which is fun. And without them, you couldn't have discovered that new source of serotonin, something that makes you excited. And therefore, without them, you had a higher chance of experiencing depressive symptoms. That's why the presence of your friend there is therapy, because they helped you overcome your depressive symptoms. Let's get another example of how you can get that therapeutic feeling from a friend without, say, having to do an exhausting physical activity like that. Well, how about you have a deep conversation with them? What can you learn from that? How does it make you more comfortable? You can share your problems with them if you trust them. They'll share them back. You gain a level of mutual trust and respect. You learn more about each other. The cycle repeats. And maybe after 20, 30, 60, 120 minutes, you've learnt a lot about them now. And you had a very deep and insightful conversation. And you leave with a smile on your face, knowing that you learnt about another person's whole life experience in just the span of an hour or two. Not necessarily for personal gain, but to get that social interaction you always needed, the social interaction you lacked, which caused you to have depressive symptoms in the past. The feelings of anxiety from not having someone by your side have been alleviated because you just had one by your side for 1 to 2 hours. That's powerful. That makes you feel good for the whole rest of the day, maybe even a week if you're that deprived of serotonin. The serotonin rush can be powerful. You never thought you could bond with someone over a subject for 1 to 2 hours before? You just surpassed the limits of what you thought was possible. And that's a powerful feeling. It makes you feel good. It alleviates, maybe temporarily, but also permanently, the pain you felt from not having felt that before. The new social interaction you just experienced was powerful. Makes me think back to when I struggled to make friends when I was younger. Because of my autism, I was different. It was harder to make friends. I satisfied those needs over the years by doing what's uncomfortable, putting myself out there, talking to new people. Just last week, I had a 1.5 hour long conversation with someone who says he might have autism but is not diagnosed. That doesn't matter whether he's diagnosed with autism or not. What matters is his life experience, what he does, his passions, and mutual respect. We care about one another now because we had that talk. I'd only spoken to him twice before that, but I made a new social interaction with him, and that gave me a serotonin boost. It gave me a reason to keep going. Do you realize how powerful this is now? How powerful friendship is? I think friendship is the best cure to mental health struggles, because a lot of them are formed when you don't have someone to talk to. Sometimes it's hard to get the friend to talk to. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable. Maybe the problem you have yourself is anxiety, and that's preventing you from talking to another person. But let me tell you one thing. You will always feel mentally better after talking with a friend, or even just a stranger. Always. I can guarantee that. Maybe not always happy, because on the off chance they're not a nice person, they deflect you away. They'll make you feel a different emotion instead of you not feeling emotion at all. You see, when we get a healthy scare or whatever, if that does happen, then you will feel a new emotion, which keeps you from being alone. You just socialized. Well done. You got serotonin. Even if the person responded in a spooky way. But it's always worth it. If you've got a classmate, like you're a student like me, or you're in school, and you've never talked to them before, get to know them. Like, what's the worst that can happen? No one is by default plotting against you, unless it's been made obvious before. By the bullies, maybe. But then again, you may be overthinking it. You may think that they may be plotting against you because of your anxiety. And you're thinking about a threat that doesn't exist. So you have to battle your demons somehow. Overcome it. Talk to someone. Because if you don't reach out to them, how do you know that they'll reach out to you? They may be dealing with the same anxiety that you have. And if not one word is spoken, then you won't get that serotonin boost, which will alleviate your anxious or depressive symptoms, which would give you the therapy that you need to overcome your mental health problems. Trust me, I was like this once. I have autism. It was hard to socialize as a kid. But if you don't address the issues early on, or as soon as you can, then your mental health struggles may just get worse. And that's the worst thing that can happen. So trust me when I say that doing that little cold approach to someone you know, or warm approach, saying hi, having a good conversation, that is the key to breaking free from a mental health struggle, the one of loneliness, where you feel helpless and you can't socialize, when in fact you can. You could all along. You were just telling yourself that you couldn't. It's a negative feedback loop, really, because one cause of effect leads to another chain reaction, which causes you to go down and down. But you need to break free of that. Talk to that person, because it's so important. I keep saying this because you have to. And it will change your perspective on socializing. It will make you happy. It will give you that boost you need to keep going. And nothing is more worth it than that, in my experience of life. I hope you now feel more urged to talk to the person you want to. It doesn't even have to be as nerve-wracking as talking to your crush. Just talk to them like they're your bro, you know? Hey, what's up? It can be that simple. And you can overcome your fears, your anxieties, your depressive symptoms, boost your serotonin levels, and give yourself a natural therapy session via socializing and friendship. Go talk to someone today. Thank you very much for listening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.